I love movies that have trailers that don't spoil any of the movie for you, or if anything, contain any of the major plot points of the movie. You go into it fresh. I'm looking at you, Castaway, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and other movies that have ruined everything. So before coming into 10 Cloverfield Lane, let me tell you, I was a little excited because the director, Dan Trachtenberg, not only is he a debut director, but I've actually known him from listening and watching his podcast, The Totally Rad Show, that was on Revision 3 a few years ago. And the way that he and his other co-hosts would talk about movies with such passion, honestly, it actually inspired me to do movie reviews, or to be a little bit more passionate about talking about things that I love. Now, the story, being as vague as I possibly can, is about a woman that gets into an accident and wakes up in a bunker, and she is told by John Goodman's character that there has been a fallout of some kind, that it's not safe to go outside. And the movie ensues with her feeling like she's being deceived by this man, and there's one other person that is there with her, and she doesn't know whether she should try to escape or to just accept his word as fact, and that everything is dangerous outside, and that she should just stay underground until everything calms down or what have you. But I was actually shocked at how much suspense and how many twists and turns were actually in the story. I thought it was going one way and it went another quite a few times. The second and third act, I actually found out I was really enjoying it. The actors were also really good. Mary Elizabeth Winstead and John Goodman really stood out, and there was a sense of tension between the characters that shows good character development on the writer's part. And as far as it being called Cloverfield, and people are wondering if it's a prequel, sequel, or a blood relative, as JJ likes to call it, I think Dan Trachtenberg said it best. He said that it is a genre within the Cloverfield universe almost, which is also interesting because so many people loved the first Cloverfield a few years back and how it was found footage, and that was more of a monster flick. In this film, there is hardly any shaky cam or handheld. A lot of it's very stationary, very still, static movements. The music also helped during the movie. It would get real tense sometimes, and whenever there was a moment that you know that something bad was about to happen, the music just swelled up and you're like, oh my gosh, something is coming. Some of the shots were a little on the nose, lingering a little too long on certain things, and I think the editing could have been tightened up a little bit, but overall it was good. I thought the directing was actually quite well for a first-time director, and I was actually really hoping that this wasn't going to bomb and that he was going to do well with directing the actors and to maneuver a story and to not have it fall apart, which some people might think that it falls apart near the end, but I actually really liked how the ending came out, except for her decision at the very end of the movie. I thought, really, after all these things that had happened and you're gonna go that route? But I guess that's a little nitpicky thing, and I don't know if they were trying to set things up or were trying to do something with her character. I'm not sure entirely. But coming out of this movie, I was actually pretty satisfied. I had not had many expectations coming into it. I didn't know whether it was going to be a horror movie, a suspense movie. It was like a sitcom bottle episode where the whole thing just takes place in one area. You're just trapped in this bunker for a couple hours, and you see how humans interact when they're just trapped with each other. Not only that, but if you can trust one another, you have to just take their word for it. When someone says it's not safe to go out there, do you trust them or don't you? Do you choose to smash them over the head with a bottle and try to escape? Who knows? I wouldn't know what to do if I was in that situation. But coming out, I was actually very pleased with the movie. So I'm gonna give 10 Cloverfield Lane a 4 out of 5.